Athena barking from the very start. Oh my. Hello. Did you guys see this in the live? I did a video a couple nights ago and it's changing between two different MIDI files. One that has a melody to it. Then the other one. Not fun. Hi, welcome to a new live stream. My name is John Skippy Limcool. Hands together, head back. Pulled up a show MIDI. Absolutely forgot to put a show MIDI into the interface so you guys can see what is going on. Let's see here. Oh, there's the notification that Plugin Guru is live. Yay. So let's, I shouldn't do that. Let's go over here. Let's turn off notifications on the screen that you can't see. Anyway, I hope you're all doing well. Let's get this to size. So fun. Let's just play this all live stream. I mean, we don't need to do anything else, do we? We don't need to do anything else. Anyway, welcome. It's good to see you all. Let me see. Are the levels okay? Look at that list of people showing up already. So cool. Welcome all. Good to see you all. So this is one of a whole bunch of bonus patches coming to DiscoverStation slash, oh, we gotta come up with a new name because now it's DiscoverStation, Core Station, and drum roll please. It's coming out in a new format next week for K6 for the Symphonic Essentials Station. K6 SE Station is what we're calling it right now. And I will show that to you in a minute. I should save this just because I did all this work in the video making this, right? So this is BPM, strings, Gallant, Parade. What the heck? For the working name. I don't know if it'll be the, I'll go what? Work in progress so that I know that it's a work in progress. It's saved to Core Station because I'm using the Core Station library. There's a lot to show you guys today. There is, my gosh. So check this out. Boom. You can download in the video description. The Noire library is now available. I converted all 77 patches, both for felt and pure. I'll show you those in a minute. We have also 10 plugins that have been unified now. The newest being Surge, which has a new update. This has over 600 patches in it so that you can... If you don't know about Surge, it's raved about by all the guys that check out and do videos on like cool free synths. It's open source, free, hybrid, 3 oscillators, does all different types of forms of synthesis, FM, has some really cool capabilities to it. All of the factory patches that are available here have been saved into Unify format. These guys, I believe the gentleman that did the Surge conversion wants to also do some of those libraries to make available, but these are really cool. And right click, say load into Unify, a new layer. And you just add the patches until you have a layer of 24 that's just insane. It's super efficient, so you can... So description, link, all that stuff is in the video description. Also on the Plugin Guru Unify Standard Edition page, if you scroll down the page, all these libraries are listed there with links to download so you can get. We have libraries now for Cherry Audio's 2600, which is an ARP clone that's really, really nice. Give it a second. And again, right click, add. Never know what you'll get if you're just blindly doing what I do. The DCO 106 is the Juno 106. Really, really nice. There are real-time mod knobs assigned to most of the patches in these libraries. Hex Drum is a really cool drum synth that has... Oh, there's an update to DCO 106 it wants to install. So, okay, come over here. The Cherry Audio programs, the plugins, if you run them and then when you quit them, if there was an update, it downloads the update for you to update right there on the spot, which is pretty cool. This is a really, really cool synth. The Hex Drum is able to, oh, wait, get back here. It's got different tones for kick, snare, 3 toms, closed hi-hat. You can right click on these and change the labels to be whatever you want. And it's got just some really, really cool patches. I made some bonus patches with MIDI files for the library. Bum, bum, bum. Dance hall days now. There's some cool, like, what? Oh, these are just kits. And then here's the groove for Birdie. Cool grooves. So this is a very cool library. If you don't know about Hex Drum and you need cool synth drum sounds, Knifonium is a really cool synth I did voicing for Plugin Alliance. Obsession is a OBX Oberheim synthesizer clone that's put out by Synapse Audio that's very nice. One of the unique things with Obsession that I thought was pretty cool is when you go over here to, where's get to the effects? I haven't played with this for a little while. There's an effects page and I can't seem to find it. Turn on and off the effects, but where? You can do single and double. How funny. Oh, here we go. You use a little spin around and now you get to the effects. The reverb can do a regenerating shimmer effect, which is cool. So not many synthesizers have a shimmer in the reverb department. Obsession does. So that library's been converted. We've also converted Pendulate, which is a free synth from Elevate Audio or Newfangled Audio. It's distributed through Eventide. Their full-blown version synth is actually really impressive. If you guys, especially cinematic people that need, is it under Eventide? It might be under Eventide. Or no, it must be under their own Newfangled Audio. So go down here to Newfangled Audio. Newfangled Audio. Generate is wonderful. My goodness, what a cool synth. Let's see what's going on in Skype. Anto asks, which version of Contact 6 do I need to run Noire? For the Contact Lib itself, the minimum is 6.04, but what did you use? I think we used, I don't know, update to the latest version. We tend to, well, no, actually, so on this computer, I can't run 6.5. So let's see if I go new layer, empty, and call up Contact. The library was built, actually, I have it listed here in my favorites, Contact 6. The requirements software-wise for Noire, it was built for Contact 6, so you have to own at least some version of Contact 6. The version that I have is 6.4.2. So that is what I use to build the Noire library. And we'll show that in a minute. Anyway, this, some really, really cool. The pads, the basses get into really, really. I mean, that's actually distorting my output, I believe. They have a lot more different generators for we got some stuff going on here. You got 2 different subs, drive. Very, very cool. It has a randomizer that's really cool. Just to make new sounds off the cuff. And just has a really cool vibe to it. I'm really impressed. For something new, the type of synthesis it's doing is really unique. This chaos, where it's like basically you have the components of sound and then there's elements on the actual shape that can be modulated in the shape of the sound in unique ways. It can be CPU heavy, as you can see, so be aware of that. But for sound and for something new, and very impressed with that. We have the small brother of this, the free Pendulate, available as a free library. And if you go to the end of this list, this is a library where because it's mono and you can only play one note, I made patches and so forth where there's a Unify that's loading up 8 Pendulates with Polybox so you can play it polyphonically. It just sounds great. So I'm impressed with both of these synths. So here you can play it polyphonically. Which you can't do from the plugin itself. Unify allows you to do that because of the tools we have inside of Unify for making 8 layers of monophonic synths become an 8-voice polyphonic synth. Piano Book Select is kind of just a I don't know if I have a link in the video. I might not have a link right now in the video description. This is for some of the piano book libraries. I'm gonna expand this to be bigger in the future. It's gonna take a minute to load the piano because it's a lot of samples. But it's recorded with a, what do they call it? One of these heads that has microphones on the side. So it has a unique sound to it. I'll get a link into the video description if it's missing. Pigments has been converted to Unify, so we have all these wonderful synths that are available with all the patches. Right click, add 3 different Pigment synths. Then go over here to Obsession and add a bass. Let's go metallic, add that. And let's go to Cherry Audio DC 106 and add a res bass. You can make layered stacked sounds all day long having these libraries in Unify format. Plasmonic from Brian Clevenger came out. That's a really, really cool, unique physical modeling bass with waveguides, bass synth. Takes a minute to load the first patch. Oh, another update. I just did this update, quick. So Plasmonic, good stuff. It goes all over the place. Surge, I showed you, and then Waverazor from my friend Taiho and his company Mach. Media Overkill. So this will get you into raw waveform, cool modulation, synthesis land. Cool stuff. So those are available. Now I've released today Noire, and there's the felt and the pure. I personally like the pure a little bit more because it's, you know, just a piano. The felt, they have the felt on the hammer, so it's softer. But it'll take a minute to load because it's got a lot of samples to load. I got free MIDI or timing, little jitterbox. Just playability wise, this is one of my favorite pianos. And then they get into really cool land with all these different presets, the particles, the pizzicato sequence. A lot of motion stuff. If you take this and load this with like wide open, load this into a Unify layer, gets a little CPU heavy to do this, but motion and piano together. It's cool. I also like, if you go, let's just do it this way. Let's go to the sound design. They have these ones called Horizon. So, particles. I guess it's on the felt piano. So let's go over here to felt and add a felt effect patch. It's really cool. Sound design. Horizon, particles. Load a new. So I've got 3 Noire pianos. You get some really, really cool territory because this is this cool, just this ambient space. put that behind the piano. Really interesting. There's a lot of these different particles. Follow Me is really cool, where it's got, if you're not familiar with Noire, it's a library for Contact. It comes with Contact with like complete 12 and 12, I think 13 as well. The particle engine. And you can choose different sounds that it will repeat, whether you want brushed, mallets, let's say mallets. And you can choose the timing variations and the values of what it's gonna play, and then the balance. Let's say piano. So you can get these really, really cool piano plus kind of sounds. Right? So this has all been unified. So you can use it in conjunction with everything else that's going on. Okay. I want to spend a little time. Let me see what's going on in chat. I haven't even checked chat to see what you guys are talking about. I have a lot of Plugin Guru Omnisphere libraries. If I buy Unify, do I have to pay extra for the unified versions? No, you do not. They are included with the downloads. And today I'm releasing Radio Ready, one of my favorite libraries. I mean, I love all my libraries. It's like kids. You spend half your year or months working on something, or a couple months in some cases, or just application-wise, Radio Ready is really special because it sets you up, automatically start writing music. All the other libraries that I've done, you know, you can go to these and call it different patches and enjoy them. All these libraries are available. If you own them, just log into the pluginguru.com website, and the file to download in the libraries you own, my account, has been updated to include these. Because what's fun with Omnisphere, there's so much places you can go, right? I could go to a completely different library. Let's go to Omniverse 3 BPM pad. Let's do Countdown. So you can build cool, crazy things super fast. And what's also fun with this is because you're loading a Unify into Unify. It's a weird concept, but these Unify, you can double click to open them, open the browser, and change it to something else. I go, oh, I want this to be maybe a different guitar. How about if it's... Right? Go, oh, well, maybe the pulse, I want to change it to something else. So let's go over here to Obsession. Planet Pad, let's try that. So right click, add that in. Oh, actually we don't even have to right click. We're going to replace this patch, right? And if it's like, no, that's not right, just click another patch. And then, this is what's nuts. I can go somewhere else, Waverazor, BPM Synth. I'm gonna right click and load another Unify layer into a Unify layer that's inside of a Unify patch. So it can go multiple layers deep. You could have, I haven't hit the end. You can build composite things like crazy. It's an open system. We don't put those types of limits on you. So if you can load a Unify layer into a Unify layer, then you can open a Unify layer and add another Unify layer to that Unify layer. It's insane, really crazy. Never know what you'll get, but that's the fun, is to have all these libraries, all these thousands and thousands of patches. And what's fun with Radio Ready, which we're going to look at next, is that I'll explain it as we go, but what's fun is there's these multis, and this is what you're really buying this library for. These are multis that you click. Let's say Sweet Dreams. Boom. It sets up. I had Plugin Guru customers did the first conversion. I redid all of the multis because they weren't set up the way I wanted them. This is 8 Omnisphere on 8 different MIDI channels to recreate what used to be one multi in Omnisphere. And the reason I did it that way is that at any time, any of these parts, you can go in and replace it with any plugin. So if a synth that you want, whoops, I replaced it with soft synth, cool. So let me revert that. I'm gonna do a little setup over here. So in your DAW, this requires a little setup to play these multis. So in Logic, you go over here and instead of being MIDI channel all, you set it to a specific MIDI channel. And then there's an option under track other that says new track with next MIDI channel. And you can assign a key command. I have control and return. And so I just do this for eight channels, right? And by doing that, that makes it so I now have, let's see here, channel 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 is usually effect. 1 is usually the bass. In between, you're gonna get all sorts of crazy stuff. I'm gonna go to part 2, and I'm gonna call up contact 5 and call up super macho drums, because these drums just automatically sound so good in the mix for these types of things for songwriting. So this is to give you a starting place to write music, so you don't have to like set everything up. You just call up one of these, go to super macho drums. Let's go super, let's say EDM kit, what the heck. So we have, right? So let's just, this is based on the Eurythmics Sweet Dreams. All these multis are based on songs, so. Gotta have that. We gotta be at 126 beats per minute because that's the speed it is on the record. And let's do it in A minor. So you can choose what key you want to do it in. I gotta remember what the parts are. You get the idea. I don't want to totally copy it 100. I'll get to. Okay, so we got that, and okay, so let's loop those. Quantize. So this gives you all this setup. to do. It's kind of a remixed version. You know, I didn't want to, it gives you the sounds of the original for the parts that are important, but this is it. And these parts here that say 2 major or step chain fall, this is 2 majors. That means you would go over here to Logic. See, it's perfectly synced. If I change the tempo to be a different tempo, it would do the same thing. 1, 2, 3. So there's that multi, that's just one multi. If you go over here to like Bad Cab, this is for Abacab from our dearly beloved Genesis. So we could, for this, we would need a different drum kit. So I happen to have a pretty cool, let's see, call up Contact real quick. Instead of this, let's go to the drum kits in Super Matro Drums Basement. And this is supposed to be 128 beats per minute, so 126 is close enough. So let's record some drums real quick. Okay, so we have something of a drum groove. Let's do it in, what key should we do? E flat. Somewhere is the original key of the song. When they show it, you know. So we got that. You've got the organ. Anyway, you get the idea. You have all the sounds, even guitar. Explosions. In the chorus, they have strings, so. So you have these to just call up and start working with. And then if I go, that bass sound, I want it to be a different, I'm going for a remix. So I'm going to go over here and I want it to be Future Audio Works, Sub Lab. I think I have it over here to choose. Yeah, Sub Lab. And I need it down an octave. So now I have Sub Lab. You know, so you can replace any of the parts with whatever you want in whatever plugins you own. So it's a template in Unify to start working. This is where we really need multiple audio outputs, and we are working. That's one of the things that's on our list to do in the coming 2 or 3 months. So that will be coming. I'm going to show you one more that's really fun. I really like this one. Scientific, where is it? But anyways, you can see there's rap ones. The rap ones are super cool. Even trap is super cool. This you need to go to like 79 beats per minute. Let's see, 79. Get yourself some sort of a cool groove. Oh, I'm being pinged. Also asked how the updated version of, oh, yeah, Toby, I'll get to that. We're not doing DiscoverStation right now. I've got an hour, so there's more stuff to show. So just hang on, hang tight. We'll get there. Let's go over to the drums. Go to here. Need to get a cool trap kit. So let's go Super Macho drums, Super Macho kits. How about the trap kit? Sure, why not? So we have a So what we have here to work with, we have a bass, piano, cool bell, and this is part 4, which is using the granular engine. And what's fun with this is that you can go in and use any phrase. Just hit the sample button, and here you're on phrases, so you can blues story, and if it's not the right place in the phrase, go somewhere else. Right? A Bavarian yodel, what the heck? That'll be fun, so. Okay. Let me get to the drums because one of the notes wasn't right. There. We're in F, so let's go with it. I'm just having fun. It's fun to play. I don't get to write enough music, so you guys. I love this pad. Then. Anyway, you see the advantage of having all these sounds set up. If you go to Scientific, this has all the sounds for Thomas Dolby's Blinded Me by Science. So you can guitar, big lead sound. The sweet sounds, all that stuff. So Let's go from trap. I kind of lost focus there for a minute, but let's go. What is this? 129. She blinded me with science. K contact. Get a cool dance kind of a kit. Maybe. Let's play with EDM kit. That'd be fun. Loop and go to MIDI channel 1 now. Let's do an G. My drummer got a little hiccup in there. Let's go just 8 note quantize because I think I wasn't doing any 16th notes, so it should. That's better. So go back to the bass. That'll work. Quantize. I love this synth sound. Okay, I love this. It's fun. You get the idea. So you have all the sounds for Donna Summer tracks. There's all sorts of different, there's 14 in total. There's Chainsmokers. Veggies is the broccoli track that came out a year or two ago. There's even Prayer is based on Madonna. So you've got like a Prayer, which has the MKS 80 bass, the organ. Really, really cool BPM guitar, which sounds great in the track for the rhythmic stuff. So this library is available now in Unify format, and it's really exciting to be able to swap out any of the parts with anything else in your cabal of plugins. So check that out. Let's see if you guys have it. Blinded by Unify. Yeah, Flat Earth is one of my favorite albums. If you guys haven't heard Thomas Dolby's The Flat Earth, go find it on streaming or wherever you listen. And I have not, Daniela. I haven't seen any soccer email from a team. Is it Portland, Oregon or Portland, Maine? Because sometimes people get those two confused. And it's a lot easier to do this inside of, yes, Unify for songwriting and changing the parts out, and being able to sub in any of your plugins at any time is really, really refreshing, you know? So let's go on from here. I just want to point that out. For a week, it is available at a very nice price at the Plugin Guru website. So go searching for it. There's a banner little header you can click on the front of the pluginguru.com webpage and pick it up. You need to, for all these libraries to work, let's just do a really quick, basic 101. You have to own and have recognized Omnisphere in VST format. You go to the little plugin list right here, scroll down the list till you see the plugin that you're trying to get to work, whether it's Omnisphere or Contact or the BBC Symphony. A lot of people have been writing about the BBC Symphony Orchestra lately because that's for the new library that came out. But when you get to the plugin, look at the list and it needs to say VST. If it says VST3 or audio unit, then the patches won't work. You can load the plugin, you can play the plugin, it's going to work fine. But when you go to load patches, we have to save, because of the way formatting and stuff works, we have to save what plugin format we're using. And we use VST, the standard VST2 format, because it's 100% compatible without us doing any work on PC and Mac. So when we were first making Unify, that was one of my biggest nightmares, was whether there would be compatibility between patches from between Mac and PC, and how at one point it looked like we were going to have to like take the patches and have something print out all the parameters and re-input the parameters. Can you imagine manually inputting the parameters for all of these libraries? It would just, no, it would not be so fun. Okay. So that's how you get these libraries to show up in this format. Just make sure when you go to the plugin page on the known plugin list, and if it's not there, go to operations, and at the very bottom is select plugin files to scan, navigate to your VST folder. So you can just select just the one plugin you need. You don't have to scan all of your VST plugins. That's not necessary. It's just the ones that work. If you're going to get the library for Obsession, then make sure that you install, if you're working with the BBC Symphony Orchestra, then that means when you go to the known plugin list and you go to this and you find the BBC Symphony Orchestra right here, it needs to say VST right there. See that? Here, let's see, I can even zoom in really big. Let's go zoom in. Oh, wait. I can zoom in better than that, can't I? So I'll go like this and like this, and make it even bigger. There. BBC Symphony Orchestra. VST. That's what you need to see in order to get the plugin to work. If it doesn't say VST, it won't work. You'll get a missing VST message that pops up on the display. So you want to make sure that you have that working, okay? I don't have at the moment, other than what I showed you at the very beginning. Let's see, I did do, let's see what this is. These are some things I did, some videos I was doing this week. I'm not sure what this is. This coming week, this week was all about getting radio ready. I have another library to show you that will be the feature. I'm going to do this featured new library when I have all these libraries. I have a little list of libraries to bring out. Running free one note minor. It's taking it a minute to load samples because I don't think this is going to be something to really spend much time with. On Core Station, there's the work in progress that I showed you at the beginning. This is one of the patches that I'll put into the bonus for Core Station and DiscoverStation. This is one where on the macro knobs on the second page, you have a track number which is playing between two different MIDI files that are in a MIDI stack. There's a video I just released. It's called MIDI Box and Jitterbox Deep Dive, or Deep Dive MIDI Box Jitterbox. And part of what we do is we make this in the video, and we make both. If you see here, let's see, bring this down here so you can see it. See how it says stack, and then you go here, here's melody, and then just C's. change this track number to melody, it's playing a melody. And then when you change to the other patch, it just sees. So if you guys want to know all about MIDI box, I've done the video. It's 45 minutes. It took a couple days to edit and work it all out, but it came out really nicely. It's showing both MIDI box and MIDI box's little brother Jitterbox, and all the fun things that the two together can do are really impressively exciting and fun. So those are there. We will be releasing, along with some updated patches, not a lot of patches, but some, a new version of DiscoverStation for the Contact 6 Symphonic on Essentials library. Let's do this. Let's call up just the strings first. This is a very different sounding string orchestra compared to BBC. You need to own if you own the native instruments. Audio's good. If you own the Native Instruments Complete 12, I believe it includes all of the instruments of the Symphonic Essentials. It's this library set right here. And it comes with, as you can see, there's string ensemble, brass ensemble, woodwind ensemble, percussion. One of my customers did the conversions of this into this format. It's not something I did. So thank you so much. I can't remember I can't remember the name of who did it, but it's very, very cool. Oh, is this the version? This might be, I don't know if I replaced this with the version needed. Oh, it should be playing. And why aren't we playing? Hello? It's a dryer. Oh, got latency again in my audio. It takes it a while, just like the BBC plugins, to load all the samples. But it's a really nice sound. Why are you not loading everybody up? I actually have to go through and put a MIDI filter on every one of the MIDI, before each of the MIDI files, because if you play below a certain range, it actually changes the maps of the library. Because basically they have key switching by default in a range on the keyboard. And I'm getting audio glitching now. Great. Let's try some of these others. There's all sorts of nice audio tricks going on here. Great. Give it a minute, see if it loads. It works. During a live stream, of course, it's gonna like cause all sorts of havoc and be an issue, but oh, are they in contact? Okay, complete 11. Okay. Oh, Chris. Chris did this. That's right. Chris Guard. Thank you, my friend. Yes, they are memory hungry. They're CPU hungry. It's contact. It's oh. Really? I should check. Let me see here. Surge. Yes, it is VST3. Okay, so that is one of the libraries where we use the VST3 format for those. These aren't sounding quite right. And mess each time I... Such a headache to get to work right. Okay. So this will be available to work with the BPM orc. Let's try this. This is 15 plugins. And we'll see if it can load and play during a live. No guarantee. Wake everybody up. Strange. It doesn't. I've played through this and it plays pretty nicely considering the amount of requirements of processing and memory. But it's not playing right now when it really needs to for all of you to hear it. So I'm sorry about that. I don't know what to say. I could try to play it in Unify standalone and see if that is any part of the reason why it's being a little incooperative here. Let's go up here. Let's have Unify go away from Logic, and then I'm going to call up Unify standalone. And let's get this to fit in about the same space. A little bit shorter. And it shouldn't be any different, but let's find out. Let's go BPM orc. Going to war. It should be doing this now and not mess up my audio because it's not through the same engine as my microphone. We'll see. But it's loading 15 contact plugins. It's still an awful lot that it's managing. And the tempo's not right here, so that's another thing. Chris, you save these in your DAW, I believe, at 120 beats per minute. So everything's at 120 beats per minute, so I have to go through and save everything out of the... Yeah, the lower strings just are not... They're not awake yet. They are still in the cab somewhere on the way. But what's fun, let's try this. Let's go to Core Station. We're really going to ask for it. And let's load Going to War there with all of the 15 BBC. So we're going to now be using 30 plugins, 15 from Contact and 15 from the BBC Symphony Orchestra. And I think you're still waking up too, right? It's getting closer there. But the two together are really cool. Did it really nice. So they will work together. And do interesting things there. It's just interesting how much faster and consistent the BBC Symphony is for the... That's really impressive to me that it's able to like go, boom, I'm there, you know. Competitive edge. This is going to take him into probably the drums. But it's there. So these are super fun. It's very cool to have so much stuff going on at once in an orchestral direction. Very fun. These Mozart, I love all of these to play. They're so fun. This is one Jeff did that's more like properly orchestrated where the strings play in the right. Oh, I don't have show. Why isn't show MIDI working? Show MIDI should be working. Oh, you know what? Because you have to have a plugin, even if it's a plugin that you just have loaded. There. Has to have that connection, even if you turn the plugin off. And one thing I've been getting more into as I work with these is to go to some of the MIDI files, especially for the strings. Let's see, violins, horns, like the cellos. Open up the MIDI box and turn on notes. It's really fun to have notes playing when you play notes. If you don't turn on notes, it only will let notes pass through when there's a MIDI note that represents that note. But now, they will play, let's get the basses in here too, because they just sound so good. Over here, turn on MIDI notes. These are your pass-through filters. So, you can do more, make them even more unique to yourself, so you're not just playing the MIDI file and waiting for the notes in the MIDI file to show up if you turn on the notes. So that is a fun additional, right? You couldn't do that if we're playing just the normal Mozart. I'm bouncing all over the place note-wise, you don't hear them. So if you want to expand on the MIDI files, especially for some of these where there's the space and the breath to play properly, go in and turn on MIDI notes to allow them to be passed through. That's been a nice thing that I realized. I didn't want to include it by default because it'd be too easy to make them sound wrong, but it's something to turn on and then experiment with and see if it works for you. So expand and play around there if you want. These flutes and paradise and stuff. I love some of these additional pads and orchestration things that we did. And I believe there's a version of this. Let's see what it sounds like inside of the Contact version. Let's see what it loads up. Chris had fun at some points. Oh, we still get some audio messed up. Nice. The bells sound really nice in the Contact 6 version, this library. Let's go over here to something like Little Tykes and load this into a new Unify layer. And I love the bells. More than the ones that they come. Chord stations are nice. They're just a little bit more hit over the head. Let's load Little Tykes from there too. So we have both. And we can compare between the two, get a little bit different take for, like, here's Little Tykes from the Contact 6 version. And then here it is from BBC. Play the two together. Very nice to play them all together. Okay, so there's all of it just goes on and on. Let's see, I don't know what to do with there's so many patches. I could just sit here and just play these for let's try some of the string elements from Contact 6, see how these work. Yeah, it really widens the sound to have them together. It's very nice. This is the Contact 6 Symphonic Essentials version of the string elements. There's five through 8 should be really cool. This is with the pizzicato strings and then going to the big strings. So get that to load up. Use your mod wheel. Oh yeah, I've got. Actually, I have 3 different controllers. Let's see. Do I have? If I go here, yeah, I've got. I have a little nano control too, as well as whole different vibe. Some of these I need to actually go through and look at some of the MIDI file settings for the velocity. I don't think I have controls set up for there's so many MIDI boxes here to work with. Let's take just one for example. This is the first one. You know, there's ways to get, because of the way velocity scale works, with velocity offset, you can get it to be a little bit more even tempered in the playing. Then turn it down. Right? So there's potentially a lot of work. Different string libraries are going to play the MIDI files that were created differently. And so I don't know how much of this I'm going to put into it, but there's potential to go in and modify MIDI files to get it to play with it plays one way with the Contact 6 library. It's different when you go to CoreStation just because the strings have different velocity to the keyboard and so forth, right? You know, it sounds more steady. But different samples, different library, different engine, all make the velocity different. Very interesting. And playing them together is an experience unto itself. So that's pretty cool. So cool. Any questions? Let's see. What's RSI, Chris? I'm not sure what RSI is for opening and closing those windows. When will come the iPad support? Because it is cheapest way to run an MPE keyboard. There's no software written that is going to do that, Daniela. That's a ways away. We've talked about some things with the iPad for controllers. Oh, repetitive strain in... I got RSI. Yes, I know what you mean, man. Closing the windows and stuff. Yeah, it's a lot of work. Yes. I actually did Chinese acupuncture. If you haven't done that, if you've got bad wrists, some pain, lack of strength in the wrists, go to a Chinese acupuncturist. Have them put the needles into your wrists. This guy in California, like 20 years ago, saved my life because I had carpal tunnel really bad. God, that was like really early on from just writing music and stuff and working. I've worked far more hours and harder straight now, but I don't have any pain. And thank God. Sorry to hear that. Yeah, there is no date, Daniela, for the iPad stuff. We've talked about things and mentioned it a little bit, but there's nothing coming out anytime soon to announce. Hey, Frank. So, it's so cool. All the stuff that we've got going on. Yeah. Massage and carpal, the different guys that do the really deep acupuncture. Hey, Om. What is the K6? We have Chris Gard in our group spent an incredible amount of time putting together the Contact 6, it's called Symphonic Essentials. It's a library that comes with, I believe, 11 and 12 versions of Native Instruments complete. And now you've got the sounds playing with that library. It's a whole different vibe. More intimate. And what's fun is you can use the two together. So let's go to Haydn. Let's load the BBC. And then we'll play that for a second just to compare between them. But then you can play them both together. That's what's really crazy. So let's go BBC mute. So here's Contact. Okay, here it is inside of the BBC Symphony plugin. And I've been talking about, there's a parameter inside of our MIDI box called notes that you can turn on, which in a lot of cases with some of these, it's really fun to do this because this allows you to interact with MIDI files. And when you play real notes, let me go through here and turn it on for all these. Turn on notes and pedals. You will get doubling in some cases, so you have to be aware of that. Open up MIDI box. There's a lot of clicking involved for sure. You're right. And MIDI box. And so now we have you can play incidentals. You can do a lot more musical moving and playing now. Play it in a really interactive way. Oh wait, I was soloing. Sorry, my bad. Let Let's mute the BBC. Now here's the Contact 6 Symphonic Essentials. So you can do things of a more you can play in a cool way when you have that. And the two together is great. I'm working, by the way, oh, this is 1.3.2 right now. We have a fix. Shane has fixed the MIDI box timing thing. I talked about it in the last video where if you shift the timing of MIDI files early to compensate for some of the gaps, we fixed it so that will play on downbeats all the time, which is great. So I'm hoping this coming later towards the end of next week, we will release an update along with when we do the update to the Discover and Core Station. Yes. They are great blended. You know, there's a certain amount of definition in the Contact. The brass has more of a really bright belly tone. So, why not layer them? It's fun, right? Where can we download the Contact 6 patches? Next week. They're not available yet. I've got more cleanup work to do to them. We have a couple issues here and there that I want to fix. One of the problems with the Contact 6 library is that it's automatically set to do key switching when you play low notes. And so I have situations with some of these, especially some of the phrases where you play certain notes and all of a sudden it changes to playing like little different patches and different key samples. And so I need to come up with a solution to stop it from doing that, so that when it just plays, this piano, stormy string phrase. And this is from Core Station, so this K6. Let's load this into a new Unify layer so you can hear the two. Oh, of course it's gonna poop out for a second. Pan 'em. That's huge. Go to Cloud City and see how it sounds with the fun drum groove. We could go to Big Bad Beats, and did I put in here? No, it's not in here. Big Bad Beats. Oh well. What's cool? Check this out. This is pretty cool. If we go over here and say Reveal in Finder, and come over here to List and go to Plugin Guru. I'm gonna add Big Bad Beats to this. And normally with so many libraries, you would think, oh, that's not that's not a good idea. That's gonna be a problem, right? But because of the way that Shane has this set up, let's see if I go over here to Big Bad Beats, RX2. I'm gonna load those into the libraries folder. I can just hit this little refresh button, and all it does is it looks for something that was added new. And so it should pretty quickly pop up that it found Big Bad Beats, add Big Bad Beats, and boom, be done. If you're adding a ton of libraries, I don't think I added new libraries. It shouldn't take that long. We'll see. Maybe I've done something where it's needing to update something. Let's see, what did Shane say? You should send a copy to Dirk and Daniel James. Yeah, I'm talking to Daniel to see if he will do a part of the work is getting people that don't have Unify installed. They don't just jump at the opportunity. If you know them and want to write them and say, can you show this? Because I think it's really cool, that would be helpful. So I'm trying. Want to get something big and noisy in here. Anyway, you get the idea. You can get pretty carried away. So that's coming. So the K6 version will be coming out at some point next week. Probably, I'm kind of trying to do a thing where I release libraries like late Friday, Thursday, Friday. I don't have everything etched in stone, but we will have this out. The other library coming out next week is the Contact 5 version of Del Norte. I want to show that in a minute. I should first take a second because we're running out of time. Let me show you, there's a new Cherry Audio synth that is really cool. If we go here to Cherry Audio, it's called PolyMode, and it's basically based on the PolyMode and has the unique characteristics of both the resonators, the way the ranks work for the oscillators, and it sounds really nice. They did a really great job. You know, it's got effects in it for things, for reverb, echo. The phaser is really... The way that it does the engine, the amp is before the filters. It's very unique to itself, and it kind of lends itself to having this. Go to the pads. It's very nice. Very nice. So this is a new synth that's available for $29. It's a no-brainer as far as for getting unique, cool sounds. If you love a lot of those 70s retro albums, those pads came from the PolyMode, and we'll probably unify this, so it's not done. I haven't started it yet, but we'll. And they've updated it with a few, important new things like syncing the LFOs, so forth, so that it's able to be used. There's a lot of pre-patching, so you don't have to connect patch wires. Actually, here's your modulation, and what's cool is you just say, I want something to be modulated to the resonance or the emphasis, as they call it. Click, choose what you want it to modulate. Say mod wheel, and now the modulation wheel. It's that simple to program. Sounds really nice. Right? So that's, they just, you know, it's a sense of scale. You know, it used to be that someone would sell something like this for $99 or $149, but because there are so many people in their mailing list, they can sell it for $29 and sell to thousands of people instead of just a couple hundred people and make a lot more money. It definitely makes it, you know, for the price of a dinner date, you can have yourself a new synthesizer, and it's got all sorts of cool capabilities to it. So yeah, I need to make a short video. I think the shortest concise type video, I did one kind of like that. Let me see. Look on YouTube real quick. My channel. Videos. Hey, we're live. Look at that. I did a 3-minute video. Where is it? Oh, the demo of DiscoverStation patch in real time, 3 minutes. Just kind of shows, let's do this. Let's go copy. I'll put this into our chat so that you can have that. But I could do another short video as well, but that's the 3-minute demonstration video. And thank you for sharing that anywhere you can. Much appreciated. So this is a synth that is wonderful, easy to program. Let's see, if we start from a knit, we went to all presets. Oh, new. You have pulse and triangle. Here's your mix between the two ranks. And they did scaling, like the tune has really nice detune increments, and then up here it gets wider. The envelope. And the decay is also the release, which is interesting. If you want to have a long decay to fade out, that's also the release. This is how it worked on the PolyMode. Velocity is inverted. You'd think this is max, but it's no velocity, whereas this is, you have to invert it for that. Let's see here. There must be some sort of a filter cutoff. You have to send it to the filter somehow. I haven't played with part of it. So. I think you have to click here and say envelope, ECF envelope. Well, there's some way to get it to react. I am not seeing it in front of me. Here's for your different. Strength. I have not played with this a lot, so I'm not going to try to figure it out in front of you guys. Somehow it got set so it works, because here it works. ECF modulator 2. Instead of taking her out to dinner, I'm gonna buy a new soft synth. Good luck with that one, Fisher. If she's been with you for a while, she probably knows this already about you, so. Anyway, it's a really cool synth. It's got a very nice sounding multi-mode filter, unique parameters to it, and $29 is a very painless cost of entry, so that's great. One last thing to show you guys before we get out of here. Next week, I'm gonna have Del Norte for Contact. We're gonna be, the plan is this week, we're gonna have an additional option under here. In fact, this is currently set up not to work, so I wanted to show you in the live stream how it worked. How's that for risky? Taking a big risk here. Basically, our model is that inside of the public shared folder on the PC and the Mac, we have a folder called Contact Libs. That is where we basically, you can put contact libraries anywhere that you want, like you normally do, get it to work inside of Contact, and then these libraries that we're making to support those, let's do this. So on the sample libraries folder, let's do this. I have the app. We've made the app. Shane's made the app. We're updating the look of it. We're going to give it a different name than Symlink Utility. But it's this type of an app that basically all you have to do is, I'm going to go up here. I can go to Plugin Guru libraries. I have my own libraries in my own folder. Let's say this is for, like, for example, here's Del Norte. I try to load a patch. Any of the patches I want to load, I'm going to get an error message because it doesn't know where this library is at, because I moved it from where I built it inside of Contact Libs. I've moved it back to the external hard drive. I get the error message, right? So let's say ignore, no sound. All you have to do is go to this nice little application, go to Del Norte, EDM, K5, drag it over here, boom. It will automatically make a symlink and place it into the Contact Libs folder. And now I can go back to BPM, ARP, Owl Eyes 8, click to load. It goes, oh, I know where to find it. So now it's connected. So with this application, I think we're gonna have it so you can access it right here under the little bullet. With the update to Contact 6.5, the updating in multiple patches isn't the solution to work, because you have to like manually open the interface to every patch. So this is a more in-house, using an older version of Contact. It works for Contact 5, but Contact 6.5 it doesn't. Another library that will be coming out next week is the free Impact Soundworks Super Audio Boy. So if I was to go up here to the Impact Soundworks folder on my hard drive here, this is a separate hard drive. It's got a sample libraries folder. And if we were to go to the Impact Soundworks libraries, hello, and open this, and Super Audio Boy, all I have to do is drag the library folder over this application again, boom, it will make another symlink for that library. Quit, close this. Now I can go to the Impact Soundworks Super Audio Boy, choose any patch, and it will load without error. So that's the solution for us for the libraries. For those of you with the project Ethera from 0G, You can have it wherever you want on your hard drive. You just have this. And if you want, you can actually do this without needing this application. This application is just to make the creation of a symlink easy. Because for some people, you don't know about symlinks and setting them up. I have it already installed with contextual menus and stuff on my computer. I've used symlinks for years because it's inside, deeper in the operating system. It's like an alias, but it doesn't break. And you can download files. I have like a lot of my Logic content is on my external hard drives, and I use a symlink to the folder where it's supposed to be. And that way it can reside off my main hard drive and not take up gigabytes of wasted, well, not wasted, but space. So if you go here to, well, I won't show you, but anyway, if you wanted to, if you were to go to the Impact Soundworks, and if you had symlinks built in, you could just right click on this and say, make a symlink. And then you need to drag it down to the folder where you want it to be. And then the last step is you need to rename it so that it's not with symlink at the end of the name. These are all steps done automatically with this application. The end result is you end up with a symlink. So our application will make that step of doing that automatic for you. And that way, any of the contact libraries anybody wants to make and support, they can make it into Unify format. All the symlinks for all the libraries will reside inside of the shared contact libs folder. There'll be a separate contact libs on PCs in the shared public folder, okay? So by doing that, we can now have libraries anywhere you want them to be. You don't have to repatch them, because the rule is that when somebody makes the library in the first place, they put it into the contact library folder and build it from here. So I build the library inside this folder, then I move this folder to my external hard drive, and I make a symlink to wherever it is. That way any customer can have the library anywhere on any hard drive. And because it was built, Unify knows to look to this folder. This is a consistent folder that everybody will use to build their libraries. That's the rule. If you're going to develop libraries for Contact, you will develop them inside of the contact libs folder and then export it out. That's the only way that we've come up with, so that you don't have to resave the patches. This way everything gets saved in this folder, and then you can take it out from there. It's just for the Unify patches to work, but by doing that, now you have, you know, so this is a real fun library. It's got all these really cool, and you can put sampling rate and a pump house on it. And it's ready for being put into cool remixes. So, if you don't have it, go to impactsoundworks.com, look for Super Audio Boy. And this will be released next week along with Del Norte, which is just, oh my gosh, such a fun library. I had my own interface designed for this, and we added some of the parameters and features that we have inside of Super Macho Drums. But instead of being used for drums, we have this really cool thing called Glitch, which is the ability to have it repeat. It's a MIDI note repeater. Here's without it, play a note. With it, it's set to 30-second notes, 8 repeats, and each repeat goes up by 2 semitones. Let's have it go up by 7 semitones. Let's have it stereo. 8th notes. So this one effect that I had, Aaron Frensley helped build this. is so cool. So it's used for all sorts of cool variations on. Airwave, I hired him to do some patches for this, and so he made all sorts of really cool video game dying and special effects sounds and all these kind of arcade things. This is using that glitch parameter to do all sorts of crazy stuff. The blasters on the Enterprise is super cool for the. There's all sorts of drums using the synth sounds. I'm gonna make a few more of these because they're really cool. There's some BPM split things that I'm making. There's BPM kicks and stuff like that. So if you go here, called a BPM kick, here's a synth made kick. Go to the hi-hats, go to a snare. So you can get, this is all synthwave created. And then I have made some like BPM split. These are really cool. So this is when using that glitch and the arpeggiators and all the different samples. Del Norte could have easily been called my Mega Magic Pads Volume 2. I maybe should have called it that. I'm thinking back. I went to the Redwoods and I used my virus and programmed a whole bunch of pads. Down here under the core pads are all these incredibly beautiful multi-sampled pad sounds that are huge. Some of these are inside of Unify now. And these are using far more than, I think it's 15 samples for each one of these to play. Right? More than Atmosphere can play. Even with 8 patches. And in here, it's just as easy as going, no, I want the filter like this, and you change it to all the samples, which you can't do in Omnisphere. And you can bring up the filter. It's just wonderful. Sounds beautiful. So all of these are multi-sampled pads that are really, really cool. And then I came up with the idea of adding attacks to these. So by adding an attack, you get these really, really cool alternate sounds. Then more advanced programming, you get to where I'm going to show you now, like these BPM split things. Fresh Oxygen. This is just, I'm going to probably make 5 or so, maybe a few more of these. So it takes a minute to load these, but low C triggers the drum groove. We can get into some really, really cool, the sound quality of it is just wonderful. It's one of my favorite libraries just because of the trip, and I took pictures and flew my drones. So you can buy this library at the website now. Don't buy it right now because it's going to be on sale in the coming week. This week is radio ready, but this is what's going to be on sale next week. And good stuff. So I'm over a little bit on the time limit. Hope you guys enjoyed this. There's a whole lot to cover. Let's do our shout outs from wherever you guys are at. It takes me back to the 90s. Yeah, for the video game sounds, it's really funny. Actually, 90s and 80s for me. Shout outs, let's see. Shout out from Portland. So good to see all of you. That was a fun live stream. Good, thank you. Good to see you guys. Toby. Already bought it in the prep for the unified version. Well, thank you. I thank you sincerely for supporting the cause. I will also be releasing the Omnisphere version of Del Norte. It's right here. It's not as exciting. You don't have as many samples for the pads, because you can only have up to 8 max across the keyboard. But they are here. Let's see. These are just individual. Inside of the Omnisphere version, you have just the individual samples as patches, as well as Lady Bird. Let's see if I say Lady Bird. Here's Lady Bird multi-pad. So this is 8 samples. And if we go to Del Norte K5 and Lady Bird. So here it is. Here it is inside of Del Norte for Contact for the same sample maps. It's kind of cool, it remembers. You don't have as many samples, so the samples up high are different. Right? So just different vibe to it. They're both great. There's nothing wrong with Omnisphere at all. It's just, it's not designed for playing more than, one sample across the keyboard. So tricking it out as I did, got more mileage out of it, but you can't, it's tough to work with. Here you can open up an interface where you can say, no, I want to move the sample start. I want to just... It's very easy to edit in real time all of the samples. And then you have a second attack, and I have all sorts of raw waveforms at the end of the list, and then all the attack sounds that are inside of Unify, this is where they come from. This was the library where I... Because putting cool sound... gives you a cool attack. Without it, because the attack is so important. So, hey, it's a D50. No, but you have the ability to choose to all these different attacks and breathy sounds and noises and all sorts of... So that's the concept behind the library. We'll explain this and show you more of it next week when it is on things. So shout out from Stockholm. You guys are everywhere. Michael, good to see you in San Francisco. Ireland, right on. Hi, Sonus. Welcome. Pennsylvania for Ken, good to see you. Thank you for joining. David up in Boulder, Colorado. Cool, man. You guys are all over the place. It's so fun. I always look forward to the live streams. So thank you for showing up. It'd be really tough if I was here all by myself in the room, I'd just be writing music and playing anyhow, How is the CPU usage on PolyMode? Download the demo. Try it for yourself to find out. I can't answer that for you. Cheers. You guys are awesome. Hands together, head bowed. I appreciate your business, support, enjoy. If you have questions, we have forums.plugandglue.com if you have questions. Or you can email us at unifysupport@plugandglue.com. But these forums are hopping. All sorts of people are sharing all sorts of cool things going on. So if you have questions, we're here for you, okay? We want to make sure everybody's having lots of fun with Unify and everything. Hey, Santa Cruz. Oh, I wish I was in Santa Cruz right now. To see your group. Oh, well, thank you all to any, if you bought, you won't be sad with Del Norte because it's such a cool library. So thank you for your support. North Carolina, good to see you, Kristen. Right on. Shout out from Lisbon. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Yeah, Del Norte, we'll put it on sale next week. It's, I probably shouldn't say this kind of stuff, but I probably should just, I'm just all excited because we're doing contact support. So starting Friday, it will be available in Contact and Unify. Right now, it's just Contact or the Omnisphere version, but both versions will come with Unify patches starting the end of next week. All right, I'm all talked out. I can't talk anymore. So cheers to all of you. We'll see you in 1 week for another live stream. Peace to all. Happy creative times and bye.